15th meeting of the Laconia Police Commission. To order, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
He's not.
The recording secretary is Executive Assistant Laurie A. Marsh. And let the minutes show that all three commissioners are present. Woodham, Mello, and new Commissioner Scott Davis. I'd like to recognize the staff present. We have Chief Matthew Canfield, we have Captain Alan Drayton, and Captain Michael Finogle. We have a quorum, and we will proceed with the agenda. Personnel matters. Chief Canfield, commendations and awards.
Nothing?
Resignations and retirements. Chief Canfield.
Bill Clary, who was still on the books as a part-time officer, has resigned. He hasn't worked in over 4 years and had decided on his own to give up his certification. So that was a last-minute addition, but he sent an email saying that he was going to be letting his certification expire, so he'll be taken off the roster.
Promotions and classification changes. Chief Canfield.
Nothing?
Hirings. Captain Finogle.
We have 3 new hires here today to be sworn in. Do we want to do that right now? Okay. Can you 3 step forward, please? You can come right up to the front desk. So we first have John Skehan. John was a CRO, Community Resource Officer, for us for the past 2 summers. And he just obtained his associate's degree and graduated in December. So he started last week on Monday. We have Michael Cleary, who's been in the process. He's with the National Guard out of Massachusetts as an MP, and also received his associate's degree and started on Monday. Ashley Thompson has a master's degree and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and criminal justice management, and graduated Johnson & Wales, and also started on Monday. They will be going through a 6-week in-house program, and then they will be going off to the academy in May after they've done the field training program.
All right, you guys want to face me, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that you will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all of the duties incumbent upon you as a full-time officer for the city of Laconia, New Hampshire, according to the best of your abilities, agreeable to the rules and regulations of the Laconia Police Department, the Constitution of the United States, the laws of the state of New Hampshire, and the ordinances of the city of Laconia, so help you God?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, if you want to just walk around. Congratulations. Congratulations and welcome. Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations and welcome.
Congratulations.
What's the name of the MPO?
746.
Congratulations.
Cape Cod?
Congratulations. Wear a mask.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You're all excused. I'll see you at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning.
All right, moving on to item 6 on the agenda, command and staff reports. Support Division, Captain Drayton.
We are almost complete with our radio system upgrade. We are using the radio system right now as we speak. They still have some more work to do in the dispatch area to give us new dispatch consoles, new computers in the dispatch area to run the radio system. They're breaking down all the outside sites, are breaking down all the radios from there. And then soon after that, they'll have the fire department side of the radio system up. So that can be tested as well. We did do some tests on it, and the places where we had issues before, everything's loud and clear there now, so this should greatly improve our communications within side buildings and places like that. Our 3 cruisers that we purchased with this year's CIP money are slated to begin being built February 24th. We ordered them last May. So we may have them on the road for this May. So I spoke with Steve over at Irwin Motors. He suggested that we order now for anything after July 1st. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to get ahead of it. They're so backed up, everybody's waiting 8, 10, 12 months to get their cars. So,
What happens to the old cars? What do you do with those?
those get transferred back to the city, so a lot of times you'll see DPW or the fire department or Parks and Recs driving around an old white Crown Victoria. That's where the cars go.
That's
Yep. Other departments take them, use them till the,
And after that, they go to auction.
yep, they'll go to auction down at the White Farm.
Orders and
Nothing?
out-of-state school,
We
Greek
have,
Bible seminar.
I actually have 3 schools, the other 2 didn't make it on here. First is the Street Survival Seminar for Officer Rouse and Officer Paris. This school is in New Jersey, Atlantic City. The rooms are very, very inexpensive, and they'll drive down and drive back.
Is there any transportation costs involved in that, or they just do that on their own, or how's that?
We'll give them one of the unmarked cars that the
Okay.
department has. They can use
Gotcha.
that for the transport, so that they can use a department gas card and stuff like that for those costs. I also have one for overdose death investigations for Detective Neary, which is put on by HIDA, which is the Northeast High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Association. That is April 23rd and 24th. There is a cost for the class, but no cost for anything else. And then also April 21st and 22nd, Technology Threats and Trends in Narcotic Investigations. Again, that's by New England HIDA and Detective Neary for that one as well. There's no cost for that class.
Questions? Okay, the Operations Division, Captain Fanugel?
Not much, just, we had a meeting earlier today to see how we're gonna support the sled dog derby if the snow cooperates, and, so we're kinda waiting to see what the snow does. About it.
Acceptance of minutes from the previous meeting. Is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second?
Let's make a second.
Okay. On the motion made by Commissioner Carr and Commissioner Mello and seconded by Commissioner Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Right?
Aye, it passes unanimously, and the minutes of December 15th are accepted as distributed. Is there a motion to accept the out-of-state schools as submitted by Captain Grayton?
Make a motion that we accept the out-of-state schools for Tyler Ross and Peter Paris.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Right?
Aye, on a motion made by Commissioner Mello, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Passes unanimously, and the above-mentioned schools are approved.
Okay. What about the ones for Detective Neary, the 2 HIDA classes?
I think the motion was made to accept all of them.
Okay, because
Okay.
the Commissioner Mello just said the one for Rouse and Bo Paris. So I just want to make sure it's clear for the record that all the schools,
It's for all the schools.
Yep, all the
Yep.
schools.
okay, thank you.
Monthly activity reports. Monthly highlights, Chief Canfield.
For the month of December, we responded a total of 1,643 calls for service, which was up slightly from last year, which was at 1,444 for the month. We investigated a total of 259 incidents. 162 of those incidents were cleared by arrest, making a total of 94 physical custody arrests. We responded to 16 reports of intoxication, 31 domestic disturbance calls, 60 other disturbance calls, 8 suicidal subjects, and investigated 6 violation of restraining orders. For the month, LPD volunteers volunteered a total of 28 hours of their time. Some of that was the basketball league, as well as some other things. And the Victim Services Unit donated a total of 23 hours, serving a total of 24 victims for the month.
Moving on, criminal investigative unit statistics, Chief Canfield.
So for the month of December, 6 new cases were assigned to the detective unit. They conducted 9 follow-up cases, made 2 felony arrests, applied for and executed 3 search warrants, clearing 2 cases exceptionally, unfounded 1 case, conducted 26 sex offender registrations, 2 background investigations, 5 drug intel sheets. They conducted 5 polygraph examinations and did a total of 53 training hours. Most of that was for in-service training as instructors. And then they also conducted 19 body-worn camera redactions for discovery purposes for the legal unit.
I have a question about that. The training hours are down from last year, I think. Is that any particular reason for that, or is this?
They're not necessarily their training hours. A lot of times that can be instructor time. It really kind of depends on the training unit itself, but if an instructor, a detective is a firearms instructor and they go teach, that can count under the training hours itself, as well as in-service training. So it does kind of fluctuate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Budget printouts, Captain Green.
Any questions on the budget? We are trending under for our bottom line by about 3% at this point.
Monthly traffic statistics, Chief Canfield.
For the month of December, we issued a total of 37 parking tickets. Responded to a total of 74 motor vehicle accidents, 16 of which were with injury. The number 1 cause of accidents for the month was skidding, followed by unsafe back and driver inattention. The number 1 accident location was on Union Avenue, where 17 of those accidents occurred, followed by South Main Street, where 7 of the accidents occurred. And third for the month was Parade Road, where 6 of the accidents occurred. For the month of December, we conducted 430 motor vehicle stops, as compared to 365 in the month of December of 2018. For December 2019, we issued 21 motor vehicle summonses and 371 motor vehicle warnings.
Moving on, the monthly fleet report. Captain Green.
Any questions on that?
Correspondence to and from the department, Chief Canfield.
We received a nice thank you letter from a couple on South Main Street, thanking us for what we do. In addition to that, the other day was Police Appreciation Day, and Tyler Rouse's mom dropped off a bunch of pizzas for the officers, as well as Tammy Haran provided pizzas for the evening shift. So it was kind of a nice gesture in appreciation of what the officers do.
Chief's report, Chief Canfield.
So for the overdose statistics, year-to-date for 2019, we had a total of 63 overdose calls, as compared to 109 in 2018. For 2019, we had 9 drug overdose deaths, as compared to 12 in 2018. So we're certainly trending down. Not to say that the drug problem has changed drastically, but I think it's shifted a lot more to methamphetamine and probably a little bit of self-use of Narcan where we're not necessarily being called, so. I attended the School Shooting Prevention Leadership Forum through the FBI National Academy Associates last week in New York City. They talked a lot about crisis planning, the age of school violence. They conducted a debrief of the Parkland shooting debrief, as well as the FBI active shooter teams and resources available. So I brought some of that stuff back that we'll discuss in one of our staff meetings that we can use for our benefit moving forward. We continue to work, Kevin Butler is continuing to work with Homeland Security on another full-scale exercise. It'll be on the same lines. We'll have a tabletop discussion. We'll have a active shooter board game, and then a full-scale exercise scheduled for sometime next fall. So we're going to change the scenario a little bit more complicated than the drills we've done in years past, but certainly going to bring some real-world reality to it through some of the actual incidents that have happened out there. Certainly, it's no small feat. There's a lot of work in putting together the grant process and the personnel to do it, but I think it's a very important thing in today's day and age. Continue to work with the U.S. Attorney General's or U.S. Attorney's Office with the Project Safe Neighborhood Task Force to reduce gun violence in the state of New Hampshire. And I continue to work on the IACP Committee on Terrorism. This was a committee that was reappointed to for the International Chiefs Association that has a number of different organizations that are elected by the IACP to work on terrorism-related issues. Certainly there was an uptick in that as our involvement with Iran happened recently, and some of the concerns with cyber attacks and terror attacks here in the United States. So that's certainly been active as well.
When you was in New York, did you see a lot of the officers on the street like I would say battle dress?
Yeah, I mean, I did meet up with somebody that was in my FBI academy, and it's policing down there has changed a lot, and yeah, there was a lot of open vest carry type of thing, and people with submachine guns and stuff like that. So yeah, it's certainly heightened awareness down there. The New York City Counterterrorism Unit is a very visible unit, and certainly something that is not only a deterrent by looks, but certainly something they take very seriously down there for sure.
Because I see that now down to Portsmouth, the greeters are getting kind of pushed out of there a little bit. The greeters for the planes coming in, they changed the rules and regulations for them and everything else down there, I guess.
Yeah, I think certainly there was a heightened awareness with what happened in Iran and the fear of something happening here. So, and that is all I have for the chief report.
Anything under old business?
Nothing.
New business?
I do have a request for consideration and a request for vote of the commission. In this year's budget, we were approved for a $75,000 capital expenditure. I would like to consider repurposing that money for the purchase of, it's actually a unmanned aerial vehicle. It's actually a unit of 2 different unmanned aerial vehicles, or otherwise sometimes referred to as drones. This would be with the intention of creating a drone unit within our UAV unit within the Department of Officers to attend training to run these electronics, I guess for lack of better terms. But certainly, in today's day and age, the ability to launch these, to get an aerial view through the cameras on them for not only high-risk tactical situations like we had the other day on Dixon Street, the ability to put a UAV above that location and get a bird's eye view without putting officers in jeopardy, It's certainly, you know, where law enforcement is going. Not only that, big events to be able to clear rooftops for any type of threats of high ground of shooters with, or people with rifles on rooftops, gathering intelligence through other means, or certainly search and rescue. This is where the law enforcement technology is going. Sergeant Sedgley is kind of taking this to heart. He kind of did a lot of research beginning, gosh, probably close to a year ago. He went out and got his own certification through the FAA, which governs these UAVs, and he's certainly well up to speed on this. There are several other agencies in the state that are using them, and certainly it's something that will increase overall event safety, but also individual officer safety. So I think repurposing that money at this point makes a lot of sense to create this program at this time. So I would ask for your, if you have any questions, if your consideration.
Is there like one UAV that you get, or is there different ones that you can get, or?
It's actually a series of two, so you can put one in the air, and then when they become low on battery, the other one can launch and take its place. So you have video that would be streamed live to like a command post without interruption.
Is that something you can see on your phone?
On a phone or an iPad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how much something like that run per cost?
I think we can do the whole thing for about that price of $75,000. Yeah. They're commercial grade drones that they or UAVs that can run, you know, in cold temperatures. They can carry a payload of multiple cameras and that kind of stuff. So
So you don't want to crash them?
they're actually, you know, technology is funny. I think they're almost, and I haven't driven one of these things, but I think that they have so many sensors on them that when they get near stuff, they actually kind of repel off, and you can't crash them.
Really?
Pretty much, so.
That'd be a good thing.
Certainly, as part of this unit, we'll be governing it with a, you know, a departmental policy as far as its, the use, control, and that kind of stuff, so.
That being said, I'll entertain a motion to repurpose those funds for use in purchasing
Just to
the
transfer,
drone in question.
just to transfer it from one to another, yeah. I'd make a motion, we transfer $75,000 for the drone program.
Second?
All in favor?
Right?
On a motion made by Commissioner Mello and seconded by Commissioner Davis, it passes unanimously, and we proceed with funds.
Thank you.
Good. And moving on to confirmation of the next meeting date, February 19th, 2020. Any conflicts? Okay, other business. Chief,
Nothing?
citizens' comments. Is there a need for non-public?
There's not.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Second?
A motion made by Commissioner Mello and seconded by Commissioner Davis. All in favor? Aye. It passes unanimously. Captain Britton, thank you for picking up that mistake.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we had it on.
323.
Ron Hancock, all of those. Please, sir.